This is another discussion on another set of the answers on written work 1.2 with this given functions. So let's start with f of x equal to 5x plus 2 and g of x equal to 10x squared plus 4x. Let's do our sum first. So f plus g of x, that will be equal to f of x, which is 5x plus 2, plus our g of x, which is 10x squared plus 4x. Again, you may do parentheses or not. That's really fine. Then we do our arranging of terms here, starting off with the highest exponent, 10x squared. Then we have plus 5x. Then we have another 4x here. Then we have plus 2. Then we combine like terms here on 5x and 4x. So again, we've got 10x squared, 5x plus 4x, that is equal to 9x. And then we copy plus 2. So this is now our f plus g of x. So next we have f minus g of x. So f minus g of x, we start with the first function mentioned as f of x, which is 5x plus 2. Then we subtract that one by the second function, which is 10x squared plus 4x. And again, always put that one in a parenthesis. So let's do our KCC, keeping 5x plus 2, changing minus to a plus, changing all the signs here to its opposite. So we have from positive to negative 10x squared, from plus to a minus 4x. Then we do arrange in order. So we have negative 10x squared. We follow that one with 5x, and then the minus 4x, and the plus 2. So combining like terms, so we've got negative 10x squared, 5x minus 4x, that's only an x, which is positive, and then we have plus 2. So this is now f minus g of x. So let us go to our product. So we've got f times g of x. That will be equal to 5x plus 2 times our 10x squared plus 4x. So we do our FOIL method. 5x times 10x squared. We do the first term. So 5 times 10, that's 50. X times x squared. We're only adding our exponents. 1 plus 2, that's 3. So we've got 50x cubed for the first terms. And then we go for the outer. So 5 times 4, that's 20. Then x times x, that will be x squared. Then we go for the inner. 2 times 10, that will be 20. And then we simply copy our x squared. Next, we go to the last terms. So 2 times 4, that's 8. Then we copy x. Combining like terms, we've got 50x cubed, 20 plus 20, that's 40. Copying the common variable and the exponent, and then copying plus 8x. That will be our f times g of x. So let us now go for the division. So this time we've got g over f of x. That will be equal to 10x squared plus 4x over f of x, which is 5x plus 2. We try to factor out. Now notice this is a plus, so there's no way for us to do factoring using difference of two perfect cube binomials. And of course, they are not perfect. I mean, not cube, but square. They're not perfect square, so we cannot do that one. So our way of factoring only here is through the GCF. So let's try to check if we can factor out the numerator using GCF. So checking on the numbers, 10 and 4, common factors here between 10 and 4, or common factor between 10 and 4 is 2, because 10 is with 2 times 5. Our 4 here is with 2 times 2. Common factor is 2. So we take it out. Then on the variable, we've got common factor also as an x. So we take out x here. We follow always the exponent, which is smallest or smaller. Next, we go for the remaining factor. So since we took out 2x, that means to say we are going to divide individually our terms here by the one that we take out or took out. We've got 10 divided by 2, that's 5. X squared divided by x, that's x. Then we have plus 4 divided by 2, that's 2. X divided by x, that's 1. So we've got only 2 here. Then we have at the bottom part, we cannot factor this out anymore because we have 5 and 2. They don't have common factors. So we copy 5x plus 2. Notice this one and that one are the same. So we simply cancel that out. So that will be now equal to 2x. So g over f of x, that's equal to 2x. Next, we go for f over g of 2. So again, you've got a freedom to evaluate each of the function first and then divide that one after, or divide the function first, evaluate that one after. So let me just divide my function first. I'll be looking for f over g of x. So f of x first will be 5x plus 2 over g of x, which is 10x squared plus 4x. Factoring out common at the denominator, we've got 5x plus 2 at the top. 2x will be taken out as common factor between the two. Then we've got 5x and then plus 2. Then we need to cancel this out. And again, once you cancel something or everything at the top, it doesn't mean that we don't have a number in there. So we still have 1. And then we've got 2x as the remaining. So this is not yet the final answer because this is still our f over g of x. So we need to replace our x here by 2. So we have f over g. We are replacing x. And of course, we've got 1 over 2. We're replacing x by the input value, which is 2 here. So this is now equal to 1 over 4. So we've got f over g of 2. That's equal to 1/4. So next, let's go for the next function. We've got to add this up. So we have here f plus g of x. That will be equal to f of x, which is x plus 2, plus the g of x, which is x squared minus 5x minus 14. Then we simply arrange. X squared will be first, then followed by the x here, then followed by another x. We have minus 5x, and then followed by 2, and then followed by a minus 14. Then we do combine like terms. X minus 5x, that's minus 4x, because 1 minus 5, that's negative 4. Next, 2 minus 14, that's negative 12. And this is the result for the sum of the two functions. So let us now go for f minus g of x. So f of x first, x plus 2. Then we subtract that one by the second function, x squared minus 5x minus 14. Do the KCC, keeping our x plus 2, changing minus to plus, changing all the signs that we can see. This is positive, so this should be negative x squared. Minus, that will be a plus 5x. Minus, that will be a plus 14. Then arrange. We've got negative x squared. We follow plus x. Then plus 5x. Then plus 2. And then we have plus 14. Then we try to combine like terms. So we've got negative x squared, x plus 5x, that's 6x. 2 plus 14, that is positive 16. So this is now f minus g of x. Next, we go for multiplication. So I suggest you can do the lattice multiplication here. So I'll be doing my x plus 2 this time at the top. And of course, at the bottom part, I'll do x squared, and then we have minus 5x. So every time you've got a minus, you are going to write also a negative sign, and then a minus 14. Multiplying that one, so we've got x squared times x, that's x cubed, because we're adding their exponents. Then x squared times 2, that's 2x squared. Then we go for negative 5x times x, negative 5x squared. Negative 5x times 2, that's negative 10x. Then we've got negative 14 times x, that's negative 14x. Negative 14 times 2, that's equal to negative 28. Then we are going to combine those that are inside, following the diagonals. We combine that one by adding. So those two will be copied. So we've got f times g of x. That will be equal to x cubed. Then we have negative 5x squared plus 2x squared. So negative 5 plus 2, that's negative 3, copying x squared. Negative 14x plus negative 10x, that will be negative 24x. Then we copy minus 28. So this is now our final answer for the product of the two functions. So let us now go for the quotient. So we start with g over f of x. Then we have g of x, which is x squared minus 5x minus 14 over x plus 2. Factoring this one trinomial again, so we've got negative 14. Factors of that one, we look for factors. And of course, we'll be adding the sum of the factors so that we can find the sum, which is negative 5. So we start with, now looking at negative 5 and our constant, which is negative 14, we have to consider that that's negative, so your signs are not the same. So in choosing what will be the factors, you consider the sum. The sum there is negative. So only we can come up with a sum which is negative if the bigger factor is a negative. So we'll start with that concept. So we start with 1 as positive times negative 14, adding 1 and negative 14, that's equal to negative 13. Next, we go for 2 and negative 7, adding 2 and negative 7, that will be equal to negative 5. So there you go. And this will be our factors. So factoring it out, we've got x and another x here because this is x squared. Then we attach our factors, so that's positive, so that should be plus 2. We've got negative 7, so that should be minus 7. And at the bottom part, we've got x plus 2 also, so we can cancel this out. And then we've got x minus 7 as the result for g over f of x. So next, we go for this one. So we've got f over g of 2. So again, you may go for dividing this one first, and then evaluating, or evaluating each of the function and then dividing the one that is still the same. So I'll start off with dividing my functions here. So I'll be dividing f of x, x plus 2, by our g of x, which is x squared minus 5x minus 14. Factoring our trinomial, at the bottom part, we've got x minus 7 and x plus 2. So we've got x plus 2 at the top, so we can cancel this one out. So our f over g of x, that will be equal to 1 over x minus 7. Then we try to evaluate our result, in which we are replacing x here by the input value, which is 2. So this is 2, this is 2. Our f of g of 2, that will be equal to 1 over 2 minus 7, that's negative 5, or that is simply equal to negative 1 over 5. So that is our f of g over g of 2.